With all that being said, let's talk about what might happen and what might be able to be done about it if a person picked a religion and it turned out they were wrong. I don't want the possibility of being wrong to discourage people from religion. So a person chooses a religion, they actually believe in it, they're faithful to it, they die, and then what? Well, the first option is that there is in fact nothing. If there is in fact nothing, they'll never find out about it, because there's nothing. So they'll never have it rubbed in their face. There's no penalty for being wrong other than that you don't exist. There's no reward for the person who believed in nothing. So what if there is an afterlife, though? What if they die and they end up in front of some other god? What do you do? Is this bad? Well, potentially. It depends on which god the person finds themselves in front of, and it also depends on how they handle the situation. Let's go back to the multiple choice question scenario. Perhaps they chose C, and the answer was actually B. This being could say, well, you were wrong. Why didn't you choose me? What do you have to say for yourself? A person could say, well, I didn't choose incorrectly on purpose. I didn't choose incorrectly maliciously. I was either not presented with the information that I needed to make the correct choice, or I simply didn't figure it out. I'm too dumb. I apologize. I'm sorry. But I am not averse to the truth, and I can accept the truth for what it is now, if I'm allowed to do so. Furthermore, even though I was wrong, you can still see what the strength and quality of my faith yields. Again, looking at the test question scenario, you're effectively asking for partial credit, even though you were wrong, because you showed your work. Obviously, there's the possibility that a person simply chose the correct choice, A, B, C, or D, and if they chose correctly, well, they're good to go. They don't have to worry about anything. And so it's still worth choosing just for that possibility. But we're talking about even if they're wrong. So if they're wrong, now what happens is this super being can either do a couple things. The first of which is it could show mercy. It could say, well, as long as you can accept the truth for what it is now, we can move along. And if you can get off the hook that way, then you're good to go. Be happy. The second possibility is the super being could say, well, you chose wrong, but as long as you're willing to accept the truth for what it is now, I can let you off with a punishment. And as long as it's a temporary punishment, as long as maybe showing your work gets you something, then take your slap on the wrist and just deal with it, and then when it's over, then be on your way. The final possibility is this super being could absolutely hold it against you and say, well, the correct answer was B, you chose C, I don't care if you showed your credit, you get nothing. 0 credit. If that's the possibility, whatever happens to you, at least you can go to that fate holding your head high saying, well, I tried my best. Despite the fact that you might be going to some kind of eternal punishment, at least you can throw your hands up in the air and feel a little better about it, saying, well, there was nothing else that I could have done. It came down to a roll of the dice, effectively. I chose wrong. There was nothing more I could do. Now, that's obviously a worst-case scenario, so let's all hope that it's not as bad as that. But as you can see, I don't want to let the possibility of being wrong discourage anyone from religion, because making a choice, in all cases, is better than not making a choice.